Well, this weekend we have what appears to be the best fight of this year. We have a showdown that promises to be as exciting and interesting as it is full of prestige, to put it that way. Because for the first time in a long time, really long time, there are great, two of the best light heavyweights in the world are facing each other in the ring. And it's really been some time since we last had a match of this caliber and stature in the light heavyweight division, which has not really been all that great as it once was. So Sergey Kovalev is facing Andre Ward, as many of you know, I'm sure. And well, the big question here is whether Kovalev will be able to impose his own game plan and fight his own fight against the master strategist and defensive wizard Andre Ward, or as he is known as Son of God. Um, well, Andre Ward, both guys are undefeated. One can argue that Ward has a better resume, and I guess he does, but Kovalev has been ducked by Adonis Stevenson, and but he has also defeated Bernard Hopkins, even though he was in the twilight of his career. But the manner in which he defeated him was really impressive because the fight was not close at all, and this shows this showed the great difference between him and the guy that we earlier thought was the new savior of the light heavyweight division, and that is Jean Pascal. And also, of course, Kovalev beat Pascal twice, both times by stoppage. So there are some, including me, that have high hopes for Kovalev upsetting Ward, which I would certainly like to see because Ward has been. I don't think he is the great champion that we need today because he has pulled out of some fights and he has taken a year off from the ring and all that stuff for more than a year, I think. And of course, he is very talented, one of the most talented, obviously, in this era. But he also has this style, quite defensive, and where he just outboxes, outsmarts everyone, and he doesn't really engage all that much, in slugfests or anything, because he's not that kind of. He doesn't have that kind of power. But anyway, neither did, for instance, Pernell Whitaker, and he engaged in some memorable slugfests and or brawls. Brawls. Well, I can see this fight going mainly two ways, as can the most of you, I'm sure. One is, of course, the most expected way is that Ward just outboxes Kovalev, who who would who will probably manage to land a few good shots, but he will not be able to knock out Ward. and he will win like 3 rounds or 4 maybe, but you know, Ward will outbox him in the end, and because if Edwin Rodriguez managed to win 3 rounds against Ward, then I think Kovalev should manage to win 4 at least. And this will not be an easy fight for any guy, that's for sure. You just forget it, you guys that are expecting either Ward to easily outbox, box the years of Kovalev. That's not gonna happen. I don't think so. And you who expect an easy knockout for Kovalev, that's not gonna happen either. Because these guys are for real. They don't really, they have too much to lose, so neither will, chicken out and bail out and, play it safe. I don't think so. Maybe Ward has more reason to play it safe than Kovalev because, of course, he is the smaller guy and, well, not height-wise perhaps, but size-wise, because Kovalev always fought at 175. And even though Ward he won the Olympic gold medal as a light heavyweight, that was simply because there isn't a super middleweight class there, and he is a legit light heavyweight, but he's not a big light heavyweight, obviously, because that's what Kovalev is. I can easily see him moving up to cruiserweight if he should win this, or even if not, I don't know. Because if Kovalev wins and then he gets a match against Stevenson and he wins that as well, there is nobody left to beat, at light heavyweight. So he should go for, go for somebody like Bellew. I would love to see him smash Bellew's face. I can't stand that guy really. And yeah, he's big enough. He punches hard enough to be successful at cruiserweight as well. And Ward, well, if he wins this, he should also fight Stevenson then, if Stevenson agrees. And because that's also a really dangerous fight for him as well. And but one he can definitely win. And yeah, I think. Well, anyway, the other way that it could go is that Kovalev gets inside, that he manages to get inside, and just breaks down Ward with his assault body and head. You know, he is really good to in putting his punches together. Also, not just his punching power. That's why he's the number one light heavyweight right now. And he hasn't really been in a really hard fight. He has been down once, I think, against Caparello, Blake Caparello, but he knocked out Caparello in the next round. So it may be a taste what might happen to Ward if he should manage to knock Kovalev down or anyone else, because it just pisses him off more. And yeah, in number of rounds it should take Kovalev to knock out or stop Andre Ward. Well, of course he is a one punch. He can knock him out with 1 or 2 or 3 punches, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Ward looks quite tough, and at least 7 rounds, I would say, at least 7. Because it took him 8 to get rid of Pascal first, and then it was 7. Well, I wouldn't bet on a knockout. I wouldn't bet on it, and especially not Ward getting a knockout. I don't see that happening anyway. Unless it's some kind of injury, technical knockout. I hope not. That would really suck, if it ended with an eye injury or whatever, cut injury. But Kovalev, yeah, if he really plays his game plan out and does everything right, he can get Ward out, by before the 10th round, I'd say, eighth or ninth or something. But it's impossible to say, of course, until they have been in the ring, until they step in the ring, and yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. I think unless Ward should, elect to just play it safe. Of course, it can happen in a super fight sometimes, like we saw between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. That was really a stinker of a fight. But I think this one will be, better because both guys, even Ward knows he is being regarded as, the heir of Floyd Mayweather as a pound for pound king, and fighting scared, it would hurt his image, I think, and he cares about his image. I don't think he will engage too much either, but he will try not to be too, just run away and defend himself. And Ward definitely, I mean, Kovalev, he will fire fire on all cylinders, and as he always does. And that's the reason that to want Kovalev to win, because he always gives everything. He always goes in there to knock the guy out, and that's not what Ward does, of course. He hasn't had a real knockout for a while now. I think his last true knockout, yeah, his last knockout was against Chad Dawson. That was really a weight drained Chad Dawson, and it was by accumulation, of course. So, and yeah, Kovalev is good at cutting off the ring, as we know, and that will also make it more difficult for Ward to stay away. But Kovalev should, pace himself and not just throw too much at a time, because he can get tired, or if he misses too much, he can get frustrated early on, and that's not good, of course, because guys like Ward, they can take advantage of that. They can, yeah. And in the long run, they just get stronger. They thrive on your frustration. So don't do it, Sergey. Oh, I beg you. Just, throw just a few punches at a time and try to nail him with that big one. Whatever it may be, left hook, right hand, whatever, right hook, uppercut, body punch, I don't know. So, I don't, I fear that this fight will go the way that that it has gone with Ward fights until now. That he will just, shut out Cole with his boxing skills. But as I said, I don't think he can win really, really comfortably. I really doubt that. Either way, it's gonna be a good and close fight, I think. So that's my prediction, my thoughts on this super fight. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure you are too. So yeah, bye bye.